Now we see Nigeria and South Africa, two economic giants in Africa, poised to further strengthen their bilateral relations. Recent discussions between the two nations have focused on key areas such as trade, investment, and migration. As these key areas are being looked at this point, the impact on both their domestic economies and the broader African continent is significant. Well, join us now to discuss. We have Diana Games, CEO, Nigeria, South Africa Business Chamber. Join me via Zoom. Great to have you on the show.
Yes, good afternoon.
Talk to me about this discussion so far on trade and investment between Nigeria and South Africa. How do you see it shaping the economic future of both countries?
Well, this is the Binational Commission and the State Visit. These are a series of meetings that take place. They're meant to take place every 2 years. Last year it didn't happen, so this is now 3 years. So I think if you look at the relationship, the idea is that we need to strengthen trade and investment through these discussions. And I think a lot of information is exchanged and people are talking, which is always a positive thing. How we move that forward, I'm not too sure, because it's a long time between meetings. At this stage, the BNC, the government officials have met, the ministers met yesterday, and the presidents are together as we speak. President Ramaphosa is having a press conference. So I'm afraid I can't give you the very latest because I've been waiting for the studio and I haven't heard what he said, but it is running on social media. But yes, the whole idea is that we iron out problems between in the relationship and talk about new areas of collaboration and engagement. And let's hope that is what's happening. I haven't seen any concrete suggestions coming out of it, but hopefully this will become the case later in the week. We are having a business forum with the president. I'm currently in Cape Town, especially for that, which is happening this evening after the presidents have finished speaking. So we hope to hear that there might be some movement on sticking points in the relationship, and migration, for example, would be one of them. In terms of trade and investment, we'll see what's been concluded and what areas of priority they're looking at.
And how do the two countries plan to manage migration issues, to foster greater social cooperation? Because we've had complaints here, it's really hard getting a South Africa visa from Nigeria.
So people say that a lot, and I agree that it has been, but I know that business has also been part of a bigger push, if you like, in South Africa, from South Africa, to ease the visa situation for Nigerians to come to South Africa, and that has definitely started to happen. People are getting longer term visas. The turnaround is much faster. There's all sorts of plans to make it easier for groups to attend conferences or to go for tourism purposes to South Africa. I think the danger is as South Africa makes strides to improve its visa regime, Nigerians are not keeping up, and we're going to be still stuck in that narrative. But at the same time, South Africans are also having some problems getting visas for Nigeria. We're only getting business people, even regular business travelers, are only getting 3-month visas at most. And this is, these are two countries that are supposed to be trading together. I just feel that, maybe there'll be some talk about that as well. The Nigerian visa is also very expensive. It's much more expensive than the South African visa, which is a handbrake on, for example, SMEs traveling between countries. Nigeria is already also a high cost environment to do business. So the cost of the visa is important in that regard. So I think we'll see. I'm hoping, the visas is always on the agenda, but I'm just saying that I know, because we've been in talks with our trade missions and with our government about the Nigerian visas. And I can just say that people really need to think, to share those stories as well about the changes that have been happening.
All right, we'll definitely keep tracking those changes. But thank you so much. Sorry for keeping you for so long. That was Diana Games, CEO, Nigeria, South Africa Business Chamber. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for having me.